Hello, this is Luke from Play.
And this is Paul.
Today we're looking at WWE 2K15. Now you saw this a little while before release and came back quite positive about it. But now we've had it in the office for a while, you've been playing it at lunchtimes and stuff. That grin's disappeared off your face all of a sudden. I'd like to know why.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the reason I was positive about it is because I had seen the changes they've made primarily to affect the pacing of the matches.
Okay.
So there's like a new chain wrestling system at the beginning, so you can't just go in and start doing like big massive moves from the offset.
Mm-hmm.
So the matches progress more naturally. They've got stamina now as well, so there was a few sort of dramatic moments where you'd perform a big move but then it would deplete your stamina, so you'd be crawling to try and get the pin and stuff like that. And I was just that kind of stuff seems like fundamental changes that haven't been made for quite a long time. And I think every year people are hoping that it's going to finally be the year that they make a good wrestling game. So, but unfortunately, like many of the old problems are still there. Those systems that I've talked about, they can create some really good matches. Like I've had some brilliant matches, but that doesn't happen that often. There's still, most of the time, you've still got that familiar stuff swinging in midair where there's more than one person and you're trying to hit a particular person, like odd transitions where a move doesn't appear to connect but the other person falls over, all that kind of stuff that's been in there for ages.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was really hopeful for the career mode. They've got this in my career now. You start off in developmental, work your way up to NXT, and you're gradually going on to the bigger shows, and you're upgrading your character as you go.
Okay, I mean, that sounds kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, the thing I liked about it is it rewards you for putting on good matches rather than just winning. So it kind of captures that thing about wrestling where it's not really about winning.
It's showmanship, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So it's quite cool that it captures that element, but nothing really happens. Basically, all it is a series of text boxes where Vicky Guerrero goes, "Yeah, haven't really got anything for you to do. Maybe next week." Like that's what career mode is. When you actually do get into rivalries, it's just a text box comes up. "I'm going to fight you." Okay, and you fight somebody. Like what you really wanted what you want from the career mode, I think, is to feel like you have an influence on what's happening, like to engage in rivalries, to respond to things, to create your own stories, basically. And it doesn't really do that, so that's a real disappointment. Showcase mode is kind of the equivalent to Attitude Era mode that they had recently, and the WrestleMania.
That was really good.
They were really good. This one's not as good.
Okay.
It's still got the video package and everything, the good video packages and everything, which is cool. But I mean, a lot of the matches that are in there aren't particularly memorable ones, and the objectives you have to do, unfortunately, are just quite boring generally. I think of an example where in a match with CM Punk and John Cena, I had to get him to critical damage, so I performed their finishing move, go to sleep, got him to critical damage. My next objective, perform a go to sleep. So building up my momentum again, perform a go to sleep. Next objective, perform a go to sleep and pin him. And that's just not enjoyable. That's just not fun. Also had a couple of instances where performing the objective that it asked of me, it didn't register, which is obviously quite frustrating. So yeah, also it's lost a few of the match types as well, so it seems to have been stripped down a bit in terms of, I mean, I know they've put a lot of effort into making it look nicer this year, but I don't know if that's why they've stripped back on features.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen that in a lot of next-gen sports games, to be fair. Like NHL had the same problem. Some of the NBA games, like even FIFA to some extent, I think, has lost a few little bits and bobs in translation.
That's true.
Only PES remains strong. Isn't that odd, Paul?
That is... It would almost seem that PES is the best sports game you can possibly buy.
Ever made by PES.
Yeah, I love how this WWE turned into a PES sing-song. But anyway, yeah, WWE, it's disappointing. There are improvements that have been made, but there's just too much that's wrong to really recommend it.
It's a shame.
So yeah, unfortunately, that thing where we thought 2K would save the series hasn't happened yet.
Maybe next year, eh?
Maybe next year.
In the meantime, play pairs.